Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I just want to state, I'm pretty pro cruising. Make no doubts about it. I run a cruising channel. I love cruising. I'm going to be pro cruising more times than not unless they do something completely outrageous and I'm going to come down on them hard. But as far as, oh, do you like cruises? Do you enjoy cruises? Yeah, I do. And I'm not going to apologize for doing that. But I do have some concerns on their reopening plans now that I'm studying them more. So if you've been watching my channel any time and since all this has happened, you know that I'm a big proponent of the testing. People should be tested before getting on a cruise ship, and you should be tested at the cruise port before getting on. Give it a double test. Err on the side of caution, abundance of caution. I hate that statement. We should have up to 5 days ahead of time, you should get your test. You should bring it to the cruise or register it online. And then when you get to the cruise port, you also get a quick test, one of those ones that's done in 15 minutes or less before you're allowed on the ship. Do that extra security. But right now what I'm seeing from the cruise lines is they're guaranteeing 100% testing, but they're not saying that it's going to be the double testing. In fact, some people are hinting around that it might be just, hey, take your test up to 5 days ahead of time and for proof, and then get on the ship. And while I think that's still better than anywhere else I go, I mean, I can't go to a Walmart and guarantee everybody in that Walmart's had a negative test in the last 5 days. I can't do that. However, if you open up the cruising, you really got to make sure that you're keeping the virus off the ship as much as possible so you don't have to respond to any emergencies. You don't have an outbreak. You don't have a super spreader event that they call it. And by the way, super spreader events now can be 5 people. So it depends on where you live. It depends on what they call a super spreader nowadays. It's losing its meaning. They use it too often for random numbers. To me, a super spreader event is like 50 people. 50 people at one event come down with it. That's a super spreader. 5 people in a group of 10,000 people is not a super spreader event in my case. But I digress. Again, why would you not test twice? And let me be frank, I don't care if I have to pay for it. Build it into the price of my cruise if you want to. Charge me when I get to the cruise port if you want to. I don't care. But make sure that everybody has 2 tests before getting on the ship. If I can take a test 5 days ahead of time, then I get on an airplane, then I stay at a hotel, then I go out to a restaurant, and then I go, I visit Disney World, and then I go there. Well, that's 5 days worth of possible contact. And if you're trying to make sure your industry opens up 100% safe, no. Don't just let them on the ships with a piece of paper from 5 days ago. Double test. Make sure every single person has 2 tests before stepping on that ship. And by the way, your crew should be tested as often as feasibly possible. And I know there's not going to be 7 billion quick tests available to the cruise industries at 100, for every crew member every day. That's not what I'm saying. But I do expect crew members, if they're getting on and off the ship or anything like that, I want them to have that antigen test when they come back to the ship. I want my passengers on board to have tested before they leave and tested when they get there. Because that's your extra insurance policy. That's what's making everything less likely to happen on the ship. And yes, well, the antigen test is not 100% positive. I see that argument all the time. And, yes, but guess what? 2 of them really up that percentage, doesn't it? Really ups that percentage to almost 100% if you take 2 tests and they're both negatives. That's the key. You can't come out and say, well, there's a 95% accuracy in the test. Well, guess what? Then there's a possibility of 5 out of every 100 people getting on that ship has a false test. So if they have 2, that goes up over 99%. So yeah, I'll take those odds before I'll take the 95. So yes, I don't care. Charge me $25 when I get to the cruise port. Charge me $50. If I'm willing to go on a cruise right now and I'm spending thousands of dollars, it's not going to change my mind if I have to pay an extra $50 to get on the cruise ship. That's at least my way of looking at it. And I will not, and you've heard it here first, I will not be going on a cruise ship if they are only requiring the test from 5 days ago. I just won't. I've had 3 lung surgeries. I have had chemotherapy. My immune system is horrible. Horrible. I don't run from anything. I do my normal life. I do my normal precautions. I have gone to movie theaters since they were shut down. I've done things. I have gotten together with my family for Thanksgiving. I've done that. But I'm not going to go on a cruise ship when I don't think they're doing the right protocols. At least not at the beginning. I will take my chances at home and I'll wait because I'm spending thousands of dollars. And if they're not going to do the proper testing on board, then they deserve what they get with the outcome. They can't come crying to everybody who's been touting the restart of cruises if they don't do the right thing and test everybody before you get on board. Well, am I overblowing it? Is that am I being, you're a vaxxer, blah, blah, blah. No. I have a bad immune system. I can catch this. If I catch it, it will probably affect me far worse than the normal person. And while I do, like I said, I don't hide from anything. I take my normal precautions. I don't stand right up close to somebody in the checkout line when I'm getting my groceries. I stay my distance away like everyone should. However, cruise lines, if you really want to make sure everyone comes on your cruises, do the damn test. Just do the damn test. Charge me. I don't care. Just do the test. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. That's probably the hardest you've heard me come out in the cruise lines in a little while because I've been trying to get them restarted because I want to go on a cruise. It's frustrating. It's very frustrating that I think after all this time, they might cut the corner that could sink their industry. I don't know. Get rid of a restaurant on board. I'd rather that than cutting corners on the testing aspect of things. This just doesn't make sense to me. So come on out, cruise lines, let us know exactly what your testing policies are going to be, and then maybe we can start looking at booking some more cruises. Because if your testing goes south, your cruising goes south, and not to the Caribbean. Well, I hope you appreciate this video. A little bit of a rant against the cruise lines this time. It's just not really against, because they haven't said. They haven't come out and said. And that's the worrying part. So that's where I'm looking at that. I want them to come out and say, this is our testing policy. Not that we're going to test people. I want to know what that testing is. I want to know what they're doing. So I hope you appreciate this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.